The promise of death will be delivered to us all. We just don't know when and we just don't know how. But that promise will be delivered. And death came to my life quite early on in my adulthood, in which my mum passed away and left a huge hole in the family and was a tragedy when it happened. As time goes on, they say time is a healer, and it definitely has healed the wound, but the scar will always be there. And death can either empower you or it can destroy you. And those are the paths that you can take when such a tragedy occurs, whether it's a family friend, a close relative, whoever that may be that is dear to you, that you loved. It can have a traumatic effect and experience on you as an individual. Now, in terms of my mom's death, it very much had a sequence to it. And that sequence, when I look back, what I take from it is that potentially, or maybe certainly, she left for a reason. Now, she had her troubles in life. And she still had so much to give at her youngest age. But maybe she released herself from this earth in order for the family and maybe myself to become the greater people that we are. Because you take these life lessons and you try to identify and almost forensically look at why things happen or why they take place. Now, I could say that it was just simply, it was her time. And it was. But also, I needed it to look at it. I needed to look at it and empower me in a sort of way because, like I said, the other way could be destructive. The other way is where you wallow in the death, the fact that you will never see that person again. You will never speak to them, see how their emotions are, their facial expressions, see you grow into the person that you may become. They're no longer there. They will never see that. You'll never communicate with them. And it's a harsh reality. It's a surreal feeling. It's a numbness to know and understand that you can never embrace that person again. There's so many years have passed where they haven't seen how society has changed, whether for the good or the bad. And it's cold. It really is cold. It's a cold, harsh reality. And therefore, I took it and had to embrace it as an empowerment to improve my life, to be a better man, to be the greater man, and pursue that path instead of the one where I could self destruct, I could meet the wrong people, I could take the path of misery. And don't get me wrong, I do often think about death and how it can significantly change lives. However, I don't wallow in that. I understand that it's a part of life, it's a natural process. My mom was someone that would knit things together in the family. She was at the epicenter of things, the social aspect, where my dad wasn't present emotionally. Obviously, your mom kind of takes that nurturing aspect. But she was a good person. She was loving, life of the party. She brought uncles, aunties, other relatives, grandparents. She brought us all together and sorely missed. But in that loss, in that tragedy, in that trauma, that you will have to push through and persevere and understand that, yes, life is difficult. Life is, it feels like it can be meaningless at that point as to why such a person that gave love and was sincere had to be taken. And that reason that she may, or that person may have been taken, was for the purpose of you to grow into a greater, stronger version of yourself that they would have loved to have seen and been around. But unfortunately, in the physical reality, they weren't able to be there. But maybe they're somewhere else, guiding, guarding, protecting you in order to flourish on this earth. So it is important to obviously surround yourself with people that empower you. Because like I said in the previous video, no one really cares. And therefore, that's why it's very important for you to identify and cultivate a circle of people that you do resonate with, that you have similarities to, almost soulmates, that they're there for you and you're there for them. It's important to have that and to build and to connect, so that when adversity hits, or even when times are good, you're there, you're bonded together, you relate, and you form a strong, incredible, unbreakable bond. So that you flourish and empower one another for the greater good. So if you're struggling at this point and you may be going through something difficult, always remember that you can always rebuild. You may hit a bit of a rock bottom. You may have a wound, but that wound can be healed and it can make you stronger.